Hi, I'm Bourgeois Landry, and welcome to the Wonky Quilter. Well, do you know what I have to talk about today? A shop hop. I'd never been to one before. As a hand quilter who has really, I do have some teachers. I have had some teachers, and I continue to find more teachers, but really, I've been watching YouTube videos and going to a few classes set up by my guild. I had not spent a lot of time in quilt shops before I started learning to use my machine that I bought secondhand, a Brother SE400, and so I have been wanting to buy bigger pieces of fabric, so not just at garage sales and from people's estates and whatnot, but bigger pieces of fabric. So I've been visiting a couple of shops, and I was letting know that there was a LaissezLesBonTempsRouletShopHop 2019 shop hop happening in my area, which is in South Central Louisiana, the Lafayette area, the Baton Rouge area, and the New Orleans area. I shop hopped one weekend out of the 2 weekends. It was so much fun. So I was really hoping to get to go to at least the New Orleans area shops. I have a couple of friends that work at a couple of the shops there, but it didn't work out. But I did shop at my two local shops, one in Broussard and one just a mile from my house, let's say. LolaPink, which is on Arno Boulevard, and really close to my home. It's a great place. And then A&A, which is right off Highway 90, or I guess it's called I-49 there. And very convenient, a big store, and very kind. Those people are great too. But I found a new store because of this in New Iberia. I had been told that the store was closed by, of course I asked the wrong person, because the store is not closed and it's a groovy kind of, I want to say old-fashioned, but I don't want to insult anybody. It wasn't old-fashioned like old fabrics and old-fashioned stuff. It was like a mercantile, just a small town shop full of really sweet people, and I had just a great time while I was there. And you know, at LolaPink, they have a scrap basket that I buy out of all the time, because I really, as a scrappy quilter and as the Wonky Quilter, I just like little small pieces. Nothing has, I'm not making particular quilt blocks or anything. I am just putting things together by intuition and just let them lay where they want to be, kind of quilter, But at Emily's Closet in New Iberia, I said, do you have a scrap basket? And they said, we sure do, $2, just fill up a bag. Now, I'm going to tell you, my bag looks really quite organized right now. All of the fabric was just kind of like jumbled up, and it was all wrinkled and messy. And this is not what it looked like when I got it. It was chock-a-block full, and it popped open. Like I had a lady there help me to put the fabric in. She was like, girl, you could put more stuff in there. Do you see more stuff you like? Because we'll get it in there. And she was rolling it tight and tucking it. And but I've taken it out of the bag and looked at it because I couldn't help myself. I couldn't wait for you. But this is what it looks like. Let's see. Oh, I can't even make it pop now, but it kept popping open. This was from Emily's Closet. $2. All of this really good fabric. If you're wonky, if you're doing a little mismatched scrappy quilt, or I kind of think, although I do not do patterned pieces like this. This is a bookmark that came with all the shop names on it that were participating in this. And I want to say to whoever the unnamed graphic designer, whoever the artist is that made these bookmarks, congratulations, girl or guy, because these are so cute. I think I'm saving fabrics for a Jen Kingwell project. For somebody who's just learning how to quilt and doesn't have any sewing experience other than I've started working with this machine my SE400 like in October, almost a year ago. I don't know why I want to start with Jen Kingwell, but I'm just in love with her work. So I think I'm saving up, and it's a lot of little pieces. You don't need, although I think you do need some yardage, but there are so many colors, and the blocks are so little, and there are strips and da-da-da, and it's color intensive. It's also labor intensive because I've been in some online. I joined Gypsy Wife groups for the last probably 3 years. Just quietly kind of perusing the group, and they are persnickety patterns. They are kind of, they can be difficult for even very seasoned quilters, but look up Jen Kingwell. She's from Australia. Her patterns are killer beautiful. Really, really pretty, labor intensive, and I kind of think that some of these fabrics, do you see this? It's so hot here in Louisiana. On the news, I'm changing the subject like so fast, I'm watching my time. I've been redoing fabrics, reorganizing them, separating them by color or by flowers or by design, because you cannot even go outside and be safe around here. This morning, they were just giving on the news signs to recognize heat stroke, you know. So this is what I've kind of been tearing all of this out today and redoing it. Oh, the ShopHop. I won this from A&A, 2 yards. And you know, I'm not a yardage person, so this is pretty darn cool. Now it's red, white, and blue, but it does not have that Americana feel. Okay, I don't have a problem with Americana. I'm American. I love America. But this has a more elegant almost feel. It doesn't have that, I don't know, it just feels different. I need to find something cute to do with this. So if anybody has suggestions, please leave a comment. I love it. Thank you, A&A. I wanted to show you maybe one of my favorite things from each of the shops, from Emily's Closet, where I got all of this really great fabric. Look at this. I'm making, and I have been for a while now, slow but sure wins the race, okay? What I'm calling a home quilt, home and hearth, and it's got trees on it. So I have a couple of pieces like this. That's gonna come in so handy. I don't know what this is, but it does. This is something that was thrown away from a sewing class. You see this big ugly serger stuff. But there's quite a bit, there's some nice pieces in here. This looks to me like K facet. I mean, I don't care if it is or not. I'm not, you know, it doesn't have to be. It's just pretty. A big chunk of this. Pretty. Some batiks. I've just started to kind of appreciate batiks. I always was like, I don't even like batiks. And it's because batiks are not needle friendly for hand quilters. If you're a hand quilter, you don't want to buy a bunch of batiks because they just don't needle well, and not kind to your hands, I have to tell you. Hard to do. But now that I'm sewing with a machine, so what? I mean, I'm still a hand quilter, don't get me wrong, but you know, so what? Let's see what else. It's another pretty batik in this pretty color. One of my favorites. I found another batik. This is one of the fabrics. One of the things that shop hops do, I didn't know it because I've never attended one, is that they all decide to promote one quilt. The quilt that was promoted by all of the shops was the Meadowlands, and it was designed by Then Came June. And you could buy the kit at all of the shops, but they each had 2 colors given to them. Like one store, these were the 2 colors of batiks. One store, these were the 2 colors of batiks. Another store, these were the 2 colors of batiks that are in this kit, you know. And anytime you went in, what I did, I bought one of these from each, one set of 2 at a reduced price. It was like almost a gift, you know, at a reduced price from each shop, just so I could say I bought a little something during the thing. So I got all of these batiks to work with. I'm not gonna make this quilt. because that's not how I roll, is doing pattern things, although here I am talking about Jen Kingwell. I don't know what's going on with that, but they're not friendly at all for hand quilters. However, they're beautiful fabrics, they're great blenders, and they work well with lots of projects. So I guess that's what I wanted to say about that. I got this big piece. Look how pretty. I'm always, I have a particular soft spot in my heart for odd little yellow greens. Just like them. I picked up a bunch of pieces like this, that these pieces weren't up to snuff for whoever was building them, and they got thrown in the scrap pile. They're good enough for me, sister. Look at this pretty little green. I tell you, I'm excited. That's all I can say. I got a nice white piece. Here's some of that grunge fabric. I really like this stuff. But I would bet hand quilting this wouldn't be good for the fingers either. Another piece of the tree bark. And look at this. This piece right here. I wish there would have been more of this. Although that's another good thing. This is a good way to interview fabrics. Once you find something you like, you just bring it back in and say, do you have more of this? I'm taking a English paper piecing class this Sunday. And look at all of these fussy cutting places on here. Fussy cut, fussy cut, fussy cut. And it's full of birds. Look at that. So I love this little piece. I'll do something really fabulous with that. More of that kind of grunge fabric. And then these two pieces, which are, pardon my fingernails, they're looking terrible. This is a really pretty piece, and so is this. I just adore this. I mean, I would love a fitted A-line skirt in this. This is really, it's a beautiful fabric. So anyway, so much for those fabrics. $2. Would this have been worth it to me to drive 30 or 40 minutes from my home, with gas being what it's worth, on a Saturday for $2 fabric? Maybe not. But you know what I did do? I met a bunch of new people and I made friends, and I discovered a new shop that I didn't even know was there that I will definitely go back and visit. So it's not just my $2 fabric. It is what else comes with it. You know, and that was pretty cool. This was in my gift basket from them. I'm going to show you one thing from each store that I thought was favorite. They give you like a little sussy basket with, you know, 3 or 4 little, I don't want to say inexpensive because I feel like they paid for nice things. It was a gift. It was nice, but they're not giving away yardage or whatever. But, you know, this at Emily's Closet was my favorite thing out of the gift bag. And I got a really cute fat quarter too with cowboys on it. It was so cute. But I'm gonna tell you, I've just been learning how to sew on a machine, and it was time for me to buy my first set of needles. Like my machine was used, it came with needles. I threw the container away when it was time to replace the needle again. I didn't know what to buy. So I have this from the Schmetz company. So if I'm gonna be sewing on denim, if I'm gonna be sewing on silk, it's not gonna happen. But I mean, it could happen, or lace or whatever. I know what needle to get because I have the pocketbook on it. So that was my favorite thing from there. From A&A, the place that's just like my favorite thing from A&A. Oh, I think I have to say this. 2 yards of ribbon. This is probably not the nicest thing that was in their little bag. It was just such a nice surprise. I'm like, oh, I could make a bow. I could make part of this a headdress for one of the grandkids. I'm always making them little things to play with. I mean, who can't use silver wedding? That goes on a wedding gift. That goes on a wedding shower gift. This goes on the mantle at Christmas time. This makes a bow for a gift. This is handy. So I love that. And from Lola Pink, this was my favorite thing. It's pink. I don't know if they did that on purpose to make it pink or if I was just lucky and got a pink one. But these go over your thread. I love these. I had 3 or 4 of these already, but I loved getting a new one. They're inexpensive. Maybe they're $1. Maybe it's $1.25. Maybe it's 85 or 95 cents. Maybe it's $2. Okay, not more than that for sure. If you're a hand quilter, I don't know how important these are for machine quilters. As a hand quilter, you need to take care of your thread. If you're sewing on a machine, your thread's taken care of. It's on the machine in a special thing, in a spool holder with a thing and a thing, or it's in the bobbin and it's in the machine, and it's okay. Nobody's touching it. If you're a hand quilter, your thread moves all over the place. You're constantly picking it up and da-da-da. And if you're going to the doctor's office, you might bring a little Ziploc with you with piecing in it. So if you have to wait a couple of hours, you could be sewing. But you need that thread to not be coming out everywhere. If you're going out of town, you can bring stuff in your purse. This goes on to the loop and it holds, I think right here you can see the end of my thread. And then if you lay it down on something, it actually keeps your thread from touching anything, you know, if it's laying down. I don't know. It's a good thing. I'm going to tell you, I have a royal blue one, teal. I don't know where it's at right now. I think it must be in a bag that I had packed up somewhere that I wear on this finger. This is soft rubber. You know, you put it around the deal. I actually super glued it the size to fit right here across this joint right here. When I'm hand quilting and I pull my thread, this is how my hand goes, like this, and the thread sits across this finger right at the joint. I end up with a series of, like, I guess paper cuts till I get a blister. The inside of this finger is all red and cut. It's just terrible. This skin right here is unaccustomed to any pressure at all because of where it is on your body. You know, it's just unaccustomed to it. And it's right in the bend. I have had it wake me up in the middle of the night hurting. So I've started wearing one of these. It's so comfortable. And now that I super glued it, it doesn't come off. I just wear it right here. And I go ahead and pull that thread all like I want and it just, you know. So, I mean, you have to use your imagination, but these are lovely little things. I don't even know what the name of it is, but this is my favorite thing that I got at Lola Pink. What else can I tell you? Oh, my bag that I showed you, my $2 bag. All of these fabrics until right here. These were all in that too. All of these that were already cut into some kind of strips. Things that are cut in just wrong colors, I lay in this box. I think I got this, what does that say, $3.99. It was a $4 box at, like, you know, TJ Maxx. I have several of these. Every time I see one, I buy one. I don't just go crazy and buy them all. But when these are organized, it would be, I would have strips in here for something that I'm working on. And they would be all color coordinated. Right now, this is just, you know, a bunch of them I've been putting together. It's out today because the box is full and they're ready to be organized into different piles, you know, for greens or golds or whatever. But these are things that I have collected from people that are, I'm going to say, brand new but secondhand fabrics that are already cut into strips. I have this box too. This is my first box like this. I have a couple of, what are these called? Charm packs. I think these are Robert Kaufman. I bought a couple of them at Tuesday Morning. These fabrics are all fabrics that I've collected from quilt stores. The colors that didn't get used. When people had charm packs, 1 or 2 of them gets put in. And over time, I'm gonna have a quilt full of these. But it takes a while. I haven't been just working on them for the last 10 minutes. This is a good amount of time. Sometimes you might get several of them like this. But you don't just find it in a chunk like this. I've been putting them together. And here's some rectangles too I've been putting together. So anyway, it's all fun. I'm learning organizational skills. It's contemplative work. It's quiet work. It's thinking work. And it makes me happy. Please go to my YouTube page and subscribe and give me a thumbs up. Okay, thanks. Come back and see me next time. Kim Landry from the Wonky Quilter.